Seahawks Today coming up in just a few moments from right now. But before we do, I want to make sure that you are subscribed to Seahawks Today. We have some exciting stuff coming up throughout the next couple of days here on the channel, including the debut episode of Seahawks Live starting on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. I'll be taking your questions, reacting to them in real time, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. Part of our big kickoff week to football season here on Seahawks Today. You will not want to miss it. Subscribe now if you haven't already to be a part of the show, and turn on notifications as well at youtube.com/SeahawksTV. That's youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. On today's show, I want to focus on a few Seahawks rookies. The rookie report is out. I have 3 names that have stood out so far at this point as we are coming up on 2 weeks into Seahawks training camp. And today we'll focus on Tariq Woolen as well as Abraham Lucas and Boye Mafe. Let's start out with Tariq Woolen. The Seahawks drafted Woolen on the final day of the 2022 NFL Draft, and the rookie so far has shined at Seahawks training camp to this point. It even caught the attention on the offensive side from quarterback Geno Smith. This is what Geno had to say about Tariq Woolen. He's a physical specimen. I mean, he's amazing. He's taller than me, and he's a lot faster than I am. So when you're trying to throw passes on a guy like that, you really can see his wingspan. He can make a ton of plays, and there aren't many guys who can run step for step with DK Metcalf and Marquise Goodwin, but he's one of them. Some high praise there from the Seahawks quarterback. And the background on Tariq Woolen, let's tell you more about that, as he kind of fits that Pete Carroll athletic mold of defensive players, right? He is that guy that is strong and tall, kind of like what Pete Carroll has been known to look for over the years. A 4.26 40 time that was the third best in the history of the NFL Combine. Not just this year, third best ever at 4.26. Pretty incredible. He's also a former wide receiver as well, and a track star at that. So quite the athlete Tariq Woolen is. So, with that, Tariq Woolen was the steal of the draft, picked in the 5th round. If you agree with that statement, type T for true. If you disagree with that statement, type F for false. I don't know why you would disagree with that. I think we're going to look back on this draft pick and be pretty excited of what the Seahawks did to find him in the 5th round like that. You might get an ad break. Take advantage of it. While the ad's playing, get your votes in. Let me know if Tariq Woolen was the steal of the draft or not. Type T for true, type F for false. Now, the Tariq Woolen train is off and running, folks. Buckle up and get ready, because this is exciting stuff of what's ahead for Tariq Woolen. And Woolen talked about his speed, that 4.26 speed that he brings to the table the other day. Here's what he said. Really, I just feel like speed is my greatest asset. I ran track my whole life. I played football my whole life. Throughout the whole process of just getting here and getting faster, and throughout the whole combine process, you always train for 40-yard dashes and stuff like that. I just feel like all that speed has carried over throughout the years, and now I can show it to the world and show it to my teammates too. It's pretty cool being the fast guy on the team and being able to run with an Olympian like Marquise Goodwin and a stallion like DK Metcalf. So it feels good to be able to keep up with those guys. So pretty exciting. I love the praise from Tariq Woolen, that raw speed that's showing, already standing out at this point in training camp, and it's exciting. The best is yet to come for the young cat of what he can do for this Seahawks defense. Today's show is presented by BetUS, and we have a great deal with the Seahawks preseason getting started this week. BetUS is going to offer you a 125% deposit bonus. So you may be asking, well, Tyler, what does that mean? If you put $100 down, they're going to give you $125 on top of that to spend for free. So it's like if you order a pizza and then the pizza company says, here's an additional pizza and an extra slice as well. Sign up now, chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code Seahawks125 at checkout, and check out the odds for the matchup with the Steelers coming up this week. The Steelers about a 3-point favorite. I try to stay away from the betting line when it comes to preseason games. The over-under is what catches my attention. 34.5. Personally, I think life's too short to bet the under. Give me the over every time. 34.5, that's the bet I would place. But it's up to you to place your bet at chatsports.com/bet, promo code Seahawks125. Let's talk about Abraham Lucas now. And we told you a couple days ago that we were surprised that Abraham Lucas wasn't getting the first-team reps that he got in minicamp and in OTAs. Well, the last 3 days, he's worked exclusively with the starters. So very good news for the Seahawks third-round pick. And I got to tell you, I am rooting for Abraham Lucas to start and win this job. And you may be saying to yourself, well, you know, why Abraham Lucas? If he's a young guy and still has a ways to go and develop, to me, this is not a knock on the other linemen that the Seahawks have. But if Abraham Lucas is already progressing enough where he's at the point that he could start, then that's a good sign for his future, because the Seahawks need Abraham Lucas more than they do their other options at the offensive tackle spot. It's a good sign for now and for the future that Abraham Lucas would be on the right path if he can start immediately. That's why I'm rooting for Abraham Lucas. The former first-team All-Pac-12 player last year received a very good grade from Pro Football Focus with a 91 pass-blocking grade. And he's an athlete himself. In high school, he played basketball, and not only was an offensive lineman, he also was a defensive lineman as well in his days back in Everett, Washington at Archbishop Murphy High School there in Everett, Washington. So excited for what Abraham Lucas can bring to the table, the native of Everett, Washington, as he represents home with the Seattle Seahawks. So will he start week one for the Seahawks? That remains to be seen. I'm hoping so. I'm rooting for him to start. What say you guys? Does it happen week one against the Denver Broncos? If so, type Y for yes, type in for no. Give me your prediction in the comments section. Y for yes, in for no, if Abraham Lucas will start week one for the Seattle Seahawks. We encourage you to subscribe to the channel for a lot of different reasons, and we mentioned it's an exciting week as we're doing some new things here on Seahawks Today. Not only will we have our live show, which begins Wednesday night at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. We'll end the week on Saturday with not just the preseason game, but a watch party. We're going to do a watch-along here. Everybody go ahead and bring your drinks and have a great time. We're going to have a very casual conversation throughout the game and just hang out and party. Why not, right? We'll get started just a little bit before kickoff. It's 6:45 Eastern, 3:45 Pacific, and we'll provide my instant thoughts as the game is going on, and then we'll stick around for a little while afterwards for a little post-game coverage as well. It is right here on Seahawks Today, our channel, youtube.com/Seahawks TV, so you can be a part of our live watch party coming up on Saturday night at 6:45 Eastern, 3:45 Pacific. It is guaranteed to be a very good time. You will not want to miss out on that. Should be a lot of fun. All right. Final one before we go today. Let's talk about Boye Mafe now, the rookie outside linebacker for the Seahawks. He said that he wants to let it run, let it ride, and play fast. Isn't that what you love to hear? I love that energy from Boye Mafe. And Pete Carroll had a very interesting comparison about Boye Mafe. And for you diehard Seahawk fans, you are going to love the comparison that Pete Carroll made recently about Boye Mafe. Listen to this. He's really talented. He's the closest looking fit to Cliff Avril that we've seen. The explosion, the flexibility, the bend that he has. Cliff had a great career for us in the league, and if he can get anywhere near that, it would be a great plus for us. It looks like he's got the chance to be that kind of player, but we'll see how that goes. How about that? Man, Cliff is a legend in Seattle, as you all know, and if Boye Mafe can be similar to that, man, that would be awesome to see if the Seahawks drafted another Cliff Avril, essentially. That would be really exciting. I love that comparison. That just gets you excited to see anytime you mention a player being similar to Cliff Avril like that. The resume on Boye Mafe, second-team All-Big Ten performer in 2021. Started 9 games last year, had 10 TFLs, as well as 7 sacks and 34 tackles. And NFL draft scout Lance Zierlein said that Mafe he's an explosive athlete with power. So very good words there on Boye Mafe on that front. Now, Boye Mafe was asked recently about his transition, how things are going as he progresses in the National Football League for the Seahawks. He said this: "For me, I feel like it's definitely a work in progress. There is never perfect, but you never know all the right answers right away. So I'm just taking it one day at a time. I trust in my coaches, everything that they teach, everything they are showing me, and I'm finding a way to go through that." So how about that from Boye Mafe? Just taking it one day at a time. That's what you love to see. So what's your excitement level for Boye Mafe as he enters his first year in the National Football League? I'm very curious what you guys think, where your intrigue is with Boye Mafe joining the Seattle Seahawks here in 2022. Type 1 through 10 in the comment section where that excitement level is for Mafe as he enters his rookie season for your Seattle Seahawks. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end of today's video, that means you're a real one. So go ahead and spam real one in the comments section. We appreciate you joining us. Got a big week on the channel. You will not want to miss any moment that we have ahead. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.